Hey, hope you're doing well. Recently, I've went to check out the new Thompson East Coast Line. Went to check out some new stations, and a lot of people were there, obviously. So I wanted to kind of talk about my experience on that, about the whole Thompson East Coast Line Stage 3 experience, the open house, as well as the actual passenger service. Okay, how but I will try to elaborate more on the open house because on that day they gave free rides. So a lot of people like free things. So free rides were quite imminent on that day. And yeah, I wanted to kind of talk about my experience about that in a video like this. So yeah, so disclaimer, by the way, there may be a little bit, maybe just a tiny bit of very train enthusiast talk whenever I'm talking about this line. So yeah, so this new line obviously is in Singapore, okay, and it's pretty long. Yes, it's pretty long. When it's fully built, it will be 43 kilometers. That was a question that I got correct in one of the pop quizzes that they were holding at one of the stations. I couldn't resist, honestly. It was a question which I knew the answer to, and I kind of feel bad for the people. I was like, I want to answer, you know. So I was a little bit impatient. But anyway, that's not the main point. But yes, Thompson East Coast Line provides a better connectivity for Woodlands residents, for people in the northern part of Singapore, Woodlands residents. That's right. To bring them to closer to the city center, or rather, bring them faster to the city center rather than closer. I mean, they are already with the existing north-south line. It is pretty close, but bring them even closer with the Thompson East Coast Line. Essentially, Thompson East Coast Line is kind of like a line for Woodlands people to skip Sembawang and Yishun entirely and not have this crowd with the people on the north-south line to get to the city area. So now that the downtown or city part of the line is open, which is stage three, I would suppose Woodlands residents would have it easier now to actually um, then make their trips down to downtown and to their offices and whatnot, to their workplace or to the shopping area, like Orchard, which is one of the stations on the Stage 3 network. So I wanted to kind of talk about some of the stations or actually all of the stations which I find interesting, but I will say the least interesting is Great Wall and Havelock. Maybe as a young guy, I'm not so much into like traditional architecture. Maybe I'm more into like the modern or whatever. But you know, I'll still talk about it nonetheless. The very first station along the third stage is Stevens. Stevens is a station which is quite near to schools. So when you first enter Stevens, not the downtown line part, okay. By the way, yes, this is an interchange station with the downtown line. So uh, if you're going to the Thompson East Coast Line part of the Stevens station, you will see at the depending where you look at it, left or right side of the wall, you will see a long uh, wall that says a syllabus for Stevens. That is a symbol to that acknowledges the nearby schools and institutions like I think the Chinese Girls School, if I'm not wrong. Okay, do correct me on that one. I'm not so entirely sure whether it's actually the Chinese Girls School that's nearby. I only know Raffles. No, that's not the one. Hua Chung Institution, which is like I think two stations down the downtown line, but that's not near Stevens anyway. But anyway, just know that they have a wall there that is stated as the syllabus for Stevens. Is this still? Yeah, syllabus for Stevens. To acknowledge the existence of the schools nearby. There's five exits for Stevens, which is pretty fun. Moving on to Napier. Napier is a station that's close to Botanic Gardens. So if you want to go to Botanic Gardens, but you want to walk from south to north instead, you can go to Napier instead and walk from the Tanglin Gate up to the actual Botanic Garden station. A lot of people, obviously, if they want to walk in Botanic Gardens, they obviously, in the most natural common sense, would want to go to Botanic Gardens and not to Napier, because Napier is not necessarily um, a Botanic Gardens station. So they want to go to Botanic Gardens and actually start from there and start walking down the pathway leading to Tanglin Gate. So when you reach Tanglin Gate, this is an experience I have. Okay, I reached Tanglin Gate after walking the whole Botanic Gardens. I had to take a bus. Okay, and at that time they were still constructing Napier Station, so it was a lot of hassle. Okay, and you had to take a bus to the nearest station, which is Orchard, I think. So, or not Orchard. Okay, I think it was Orchard. Orchard Station, which was the nearest station to the southern part of Botanic Gardens. But now with Napier, it makes things easier. You can just take that train on Thompson East Coast Line. You can just go everywhere. You can just go everywhere, right? In fact, if you want to go to, fun fact, if you want to go to the zoo, after the Botanic Gardens, you can just take from Napier straight up to Springleaf, and you can take bus 138 to the zoo. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, here's the thing about this is so funny because I don't know why I know about all these, but I just let you guys know about it. It's something that I know. I might actually make a future video about me talking about the entirety of Singapore, in the context of, maybe you guys ask me questions. How do I get from here to here? I can answer it for you right off the bat. Okay, maybe a competition of who can plan the route faster. Okay, Orchard Boulevard next. There's not much to see for Orchard Boulevard. I would say Orchard Boulevard is just like the only thing interesting about that station is that there's a very big architecture with that station. I would say some people were making some sort of remarks about this. Not negative remarks. I mean, like they're just talking about it. It's the architecture that resembles a loudspeaker. I mean, I don't think that no one calls it that, but to me it looks like a loudspeaker. To be honest, it does look like a loudspeaker to me. So I don't know if somebody shouts in the other side of that wall, going like, I don't know, bruh. You can hear it reverberating, thousands of decibels, and you're just like, oh. That's how I perceive it. But again, that's I know that's not. It's just a joke, okay? I don't. That's not actually That's not the meaning of that architecture. I'm sure it means something else. I'll have to go and search up on it. But that's just my take on that architecture in Orchard Boulevard. The next station is Orchard. This one's the first, not the first, but the next interchange station on the TEL 3 interchange station. It is an interchange station with the north-south line. It's actually the other. It's one of the 3 interchange stations with the north-south line, apart from Woodlands and Marina Bay, which we will get into later. So it's very red actually. Orchard is very red. I will say Orchard is probably like it feels like Orchard is like the signature station for the north-south line. So it's very red. Okay, it's more red than Woodlands North. Okay, Woodlands North has some red vibes, but not as much as Orchard. Honestly, Orchard has a really very red vibe, especially if you're doing transfers between the Thompson East Coast Line and with the North-South Line. You will realize when you go up to the North-South Line platform. In fact, coming down from the Thompson East Coast Line platform and going up to the North-South Line platform, you will see as you go down the escalator and you go up the escalator, you will see the walls are red, very red and pixely, which is in fact the design for SMRT's trains in a way. So it's to me, I feel it's kind of like I would say it's kind of like an acknowledgement, maybe like a nod to the SMRT designs over the recent times. So that's how I perceive it. The next two stations, I wanna put them as one because honestly, there's not much to say about these two. Great World and Havelock. Because again, like I said earlier, I don't know. Maybe as a young guy, I'm not so sure about the history about Great World and Havelock. Okay, but Great World at least. Great World has this wall with a newspaper-like mural, which is pretty interesting. It has this newspaper-like mural that features all the Great Wall aesthetics and uh, things around Great Wall that happen, like a newspaper talking about Great Wall's developments, right? So Great Wall in Chinese, fun fact, Great Wall in Chinese is 大世界. That's right, 大世界. There's another station also with the word world in it, which is on the downtown line. It's called Beauty World. That is called 美世界. 美世界, Beauty World. That's right. It's a beautiful world. Okay. Sorry. That was I realized that was not so funny, but yeah. Outram Park. Oh boy. This one is the first three-line interchange on the Thompson East Coast Line. Definitely not the first three-line interchange on the whole train network. It's a three-line. There's already an existing three-line interchange at Dhoby Ghat, with Northeast Line, North-South Line, and Circle Line being the lines serving the Dhoby Ghat station. So that station, in fact, has been serving as the sole three-line interchange for a pretty long time now. So now with Outram Park and Marina Bay being being the additional two three-line interchanges, it does kind of make it more interesting. Makes the network more connected. As they've been saying, actually, I think they have been saying something about that as well. Ocean Park actually has also another interesting mural, which it depicts some nearby roads and amenities like Newbridge Road, Outram Road, right? I guess also kind of like also following the Great Wall and Havelock trend by showcasing more like traditional architecture within that mural, right? So the past 40 years ago, whatnot, right? 30, 40 years ago, Singapore, within that mural as well, they shown that is essentially as well on the mural as well. So that's the Ocean Park mural. Maxwell is the next station. This one, honestly, not much to say, but also follows the Great Wall Havelock Outram Park trend by having this very interesting traditional modern type of architecture as well, blending in together, right? Maxwell obviously is very well known for Maxwell Food Center. This is right next to the food center. Okay, I actually ate there for dinner on the open house day. Okay, I realize I'm actually not talking about the open house anymore. It's just generally what I've been seeing um, through these stations, regardless of whether it's on the open house or past few days, really. So it's essentially it's essentially what I'm talking, and that's what I'm trying to kind of do in that sense. It doesn't matter about open house, but I think one interesting thing that happened in the open house, however, was the fact that I was some of the events that happened. One of them was quite funny. Uh, Maybe not so funny, but it's an interesting moment that I captured. We had there was this meet and greet session at Great World with the transport, what do you call it? Transport icons like stand up Benny. Is this stand up Benny? No, it's back down Benny. Stand up Stacy. I think so. Those characters were there. Oh my God! Who's that? Is that Bag the Benny? Bag the Glenda? So yeah, it was pretty interesting with those characters at hand. Very very cartoon indeed, and me and my friend, we had a good time. Me and my friends alone, we had a good time at Great Wall. Only in that sense. So Yeah, but again, Great Wall is not a very boring station, I would say. It was a pretty interesting one as well, despite me saying not much. Okay. All right. Shenzhen Wei is the next station that we will talk about here. Shenzhen Wei is more office station. There's not much to this one. However, there's a $2 note mural on in the stations. There's also a mural with a lady walking her dog, that which is interesting. I asked my friend Salong to actually pose with the dog, by kind of doing like a give the dog treats kind of pose. I'm not sure if it turned out great or not, but we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, Shenzhen Wei is more of an office station. But Shenzhen Wei is also a very complex station. Now, I must point out here, Shenzhen Wei, if you go to the wrong platform, you realize, oh, I want to go home. I want to go back to my home in Woodlands. And then you realize, oh, I'm going towards Gardens by the Bay. Oh no, what do I do? Okay. The thing is, Shenzhen Wei is on an island platform, so you cannot just be like, oh, I can just cross over, yay. No, these are our side platforms, okay? And the side platforms in Shenzhen Wei is not the same as the side platforms in Napier or in Maxwell or in Marina Bay, okay? This one has to be maybe the worst one to get around. So if you enter the wrong platform, okay, you have to go back all the way up to the ticketing concourse before going back down to the platform that you want to go to. So there's no like oh, I can go in between, so I can just go up one level and that's my platform that I want to go to, right? You know, there are some stations like that, obviously, like I think, if I'm not wrong, Stevens Station in itself is something like that. Uh, I think that's what it is. The Stevens is something like that, if I'm not wrong. Promenade as well. I would say Promenade. I think Promenade. I'm not so sure, but again, Shenzhen Wei probably is a bit triggering. So, but that's pretty much what it is at Shenzhen Wei. Marina Bay, however, is another three-line interchange, as I've mentioned before just now. Again, not much to say. I think I've pretty much elaborated a lot about Marina Bay, being another side platform station as well. Okay, pretty interesting station. Okay, somebody said that this Marina Bay was also a pretty complex station, which I don't agree. I think it's quite all right. Maybe if you come from the if you enter from the Thompson East Coast Line side, um, going in through the ticketing gates, I think there might be some complex issues with that. I'm not so sure. I haven't really fully explored the Marina Bay Station yet, but I will do that eventually. Gardens by the Bay is the terminus station of the whole of Thompson East Coast Line for now, until 2024. Okay. I think the one pretty cool thing about Gardens by the Bay, I think it has to be exit one. Okay. I took a bit of a short video, going around just to show the natural air ventilation, and the really very large, expanded exit of exit one. It's really big. Okay. And I hope it's not just me, but I feel like exit one of Gardens by the Bay feels something similar to Stadium, exit A or B, I can't remember, but one of the Stadium exits, Stadium MRT exits, looks something like that as well. So I think that's also something that was pretty that I perceived in that sense. So yeah. So uh, I think that's it. That's all the Thompson East Coast Line stations that I have to that I wanted to talk about. This is something that I'm interested to talk about. I want to share with you guys some of my uh, thoughts and some of the things that I've sort of observed about these stations. And yeah, if you want to check it out, you can go ahead and check it out. Okay, it has opened for passenger service since 13 November. Yeah, so yeah, it was pretty fun at the open house too, and a lot of fun things to do, a lot of fun events, a lot of free stuff. In fact, one of the free stuff is like up there. I actually got a teddy bear from the event, so free stuff. definitely. My friend took the other half of the items because I can't take all the items. He was asking me whether I could have all the items, but I think nah, my bag can fit them all. So yeah. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed my me talking about these stations and it's everything. Okay, so the whole Thompson East Coast line runs for 40 minutes. Okay, I was expecting it to actually run for 45, but 40 minutes is not too bad either. I would say 40 minutes is pretty nice as well. So I don't mind 40 minutes. 40 minutes is pretty nice indeed. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.